Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life, because the Mets are really socking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York town. Oh, the butcher and the baker and the people on the streets, where do they go? To meet the Mets! Oh, they're hollering and cheering and they're jumping in their seats. Where do they go? To meet the Mets! All the fans are true to the orange and blue, so hurry up and come on down, 'cause we got ourselves a ball club, the Mets of New York town. Give 'em a yell, give 'em a hand, and let 'em know you're rooting in the stand. Come on and meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life, because the Mets are really socking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York town, of New York town.
Amazing, 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 amazing.
The new breed were crazy with Rod Keneal and Casey. The Amazins were the brand new kids in town. From the polo grounds to Shea, they played the game their way. By hook and by crook, they wrote a new book when they were around. I'm talking baseball. Roger Craig and Jerry, amazing baseball. Elio Throneberry, Clendenin, Bud, and Agee stood the test. The glider and the crane would soon be vets. Talking baseball, baseball and the Mets. When they got a little older, they played a little bolder. Then Hodges took the reins in '68. A miracle was due. Cleon and Coos came through. They made a believer of Mr. Earl Weaver in 4 games straight. I'm talking baseball. Tommy was terrific, amazing baseball. Rusty was prolific. Soon Doc and Straw would walk upon the set. Then the Kid and Keith and Hojo they would get. I'm talking baseball, baseball and the Mets. Goodbye, America, when Say Hayes said so long. Mookie dodged that Boston pitch. Piazza always got big hits. Ventura hit that 1-run grand slam, and Fonzie was our man. Now we see them rushing to the stadium in Flushing. Big Shea will see its last game in the fall. We've got Maine and Ali Perez, Moises and Chavez. Santana's our guy and we're finishing high, so let's play ball. I'm talking baseball. Jose Reyes, Mr. Right, amazing baseball. Delgado's bat is dynamite. Pedro Church and Billy, they're all set. And Carlos Beltran, he's as good as it gets. Talking baseball, baseball and the Mets. I'm talking baseball, baseball and the Mets.
Los Mets, los Mets, los Mets.
Amazing baseball, baseball.
Los Mets, los Mets, los Mets.
Hablando baseball, the Metropolitan.
Los Mets, los Mets, los Mets.
Talking baseball.
before New York Mayor Ed Koch, Dad dragged me to Shea to do the Mets watch. I could have been a Yankee fan, but my father cursed me. Dad made me a Mets fan when I was only 3. OKC was pulling out gray hairs from his head. Those unamazing Mets played like they were dead. Willie Mays played as a giant. What a giant thrill. Those last plays Mets stunk like skunk roadkill. Dad taught me to cheer them on through the years. He says win or lose, they fill our hearts with cheers. Yes, my father cursed me, I'm a Mets fan for life. Worse, I've made a baseball widow out of my wife. Long before New York Mayor Ed Koch, Dad dragged me to Shea to do the Mets watch. I could have been a Yankee fan, but my father cursed me. Dad made me a Mets fan when I was only 3. We're underdogs in New York, we always get the heat. Yankee fans make the claim they're the team to beat. Those Yankee caps and shirts are everywhere. Ours only get the stare and glare. We don't care. The Yankees have more flags than the United Nations. Dad says one Mets game's worth all their celebrations. Our generations of caring make my heart glad. I love the amazing Mets. Thank you, Dad. Long before New York Mayor Ed Koch, Dad dragged me to Shea to do the Mets watch. I could have been a Yankee fan, but my father cursed me. Dad made me a Mets fan when I was only 3. The curse of being a Mets fan's a blessing in disguise. Every baseball season's like a big birthday surprise. Our Mets moments of magic mean family to me, worth more than Yankee Stadium and all the Yankees. Long before New York Mayor Ed Koch, Dad dragged me to Shea to do the Mets watch. I could have been a Yankee fan, but my father cursed me. Dad made me a Mets fan when I was only 3. Long before New York Mayor Ed Koch, Dad dragged me to Shea to do the Mets watch. I could have been a Yankee fan, but my father cursed me. Dad made me a Mets fan when I was only 3. Long before New York Mayor Ed Koch, Dad dragged me to Shea to do the Mets watch. I could have been a Yankee fan, but my father cursed me. Dad made me a Mets fan when I was only 3. We hooped and we hollered in the '86 series, but tears soon flooded the Subway Series. So Mets fans turn to heaven as we believe, but God had something up his holy sleeve. Before the first game, we tried to be scary. Out-trotted Keith, Mookie, Lenny, and Gary. Our heroes of '86 couldn't scare the Yanks away like they scared the Sox as Buckner's legs gave way. Oh, Red Sox fans suffer from Babe Ruth's curse, but our New York Mets have it much, much worse. Worse than being haunted by old Babe Ruth. God's not a Mets fan, and that's the hellish truth. God loves the Yankees, I wish it wasn't true, but look at all that we went through. Throughout this series, I cried with our Mets. The Yankees robbed us without regrets. Our Mets played their hearts out, but Yankee pride turned close games into wins for their side. Why, Roger threw a bat faster than his ball. How could our Mets have any chance at all? Oh, Red Sox fans suffered from Babe Ruth's curse, but our New York Mets have it much, much worse. Worse than being haunted by old Babe Ruth. God's not a Mets fan, and that's the hellish truth. Now those Yankee fans laugh in our face. They don't believe we're from the human race. God will pray harder, please let us win. Van Rogers' batting ball will be a shoe-in. God will pray harder, please let us win. Van Rogers' batting ball will be a shoe-in.
Today little boy in a baseball hat stands in the field with his ball and bat. Says, I am the greatest player of them all. Puts his bat on his shoulder and he tosses up his ball. And the ball goes up and the ball comes down, swings his bat all the way around. The world's so still you can hear the sound. The baseball falls to the ground. Now the little boy doesn't say a word, picks up his ball, he is undeterred. Says, I am the greatest there has ever been. And he grits his teeth and he tries it again. And the ball goes up and the ball comes down, swings his bat all the way around. The world's so still you can hear the sound. The baseball falls to the ground. He makes no excuses, he shows no fear. He just closes his eyes and listens to the cheers. Little boy, he adjusts his hat, picks up his ball, stares at his bat. Says, I am the greatest, the game is on the line. And he gives his all one last time. And the ball goes up like the moon so bright, swings his bat with all his might. And the world's as still can be, and the baseball falls. And that's strike three. Now it's supper time and his mama calls. Little boy starts home with his bat and ball. Says, I am the greatest, that is a fact. But even I didn't know I could pitch like that. Says, I am the greatest, that is understood. But even I didn't know I could pitch that good.